Hello everyone, my name is Joshua. This is the 28th video of my video journal series. Today's date is Sunday, the 8th of March, 2026. And something I wanted to share with you today is, I guess, the experience of looking at a screen all day. More specifically, I guess, screen time, screen usage, how much time you spend on, I guess, technology per day. I guess for me, from around 9 o'clock in the morning to around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was just on my computer, finishing up some homework, doing my readings, just doing work. And, you know, there was like some bits where I just had to, I guess within that 7 hour period, where I had to take like mini breaks and just look away from the screen because, at my age, I just find that even looking at a screen, wherever it may be, my mobile phone or television or computer monitor, looking at it for like an hour or two just strains my eyes. Like as a kid, I used to remember spending countless hours on technology, like my iPad, my DS, TV. It never really affected me, but now I guess it's all starting to kick in. um, I just feel like my eyes at a certain point they just start like hurting, and I'm like, all right, I have to look away, gonna take a mini break and come back to what I'm doing. Um, and I'm sure some of you may have experienced this when you're like at the office, when you're at university, where you're at the, I guess, library on their computers, if libraries still have computers nowadays. But when you're just staring at a screen all day, even if it's just doom scrolling YouTube or social media in bed, it just starts hurting your eyes and it jumbles up your brain as well. You just start becoming bored and tired, and then you realize, oh, I still got a lot more work to go. One of those feelings. And I kind of miss the days where, everything was analog. You just open up a book and write. That's what I miss about reading books, because unlike, I guess, you know, I guess reading a digital book on your phone, reading a book in real life, like a physical hard copy book, um, it's just, I guess it's a lot more of a soothing experience, at least for me, that is, because it doesn't hurt your eyes. You don't have like glare coming into your eyes, you don't have like the brightness. And I don't know, I just like the authenticity of a book. And that's why I've been doing a lot recently, just getting into reading, because it just provides like a mini break for my eyes. That's why I won't get something like an Amazon Kindle or read books on my phone, because to me that just sounds really weird. Like I've tried it before. Like nothing can just replace, you know, a solid book for me, like a physical book. I like being able to turn the pages, just feeling the texture, and it's just, I guess, better for your eyes. I think, you know, we weren't supposed to be on technology for more than like maybe 3 or 4 hours a day. I don't think humanity was designed for that. At least for me, that is. This is coming from my own personal experience. But I kind of do miss the days, especially in primary school or even back before technology was widespread as it was, I guess, as it is now, as it is now, when everything you had to write in your book. You just looked at textbooks, and I guess things were a lot more slower back then. You know, like I'll be able to admit that. Working on my laptop, just putting all my notes on like a digital doc is a lot more convenient for me. It makes things a lot more easier for me. Um, if I just want to look up a key term, I just press Control F. If I just want to jump to each week's readings, I've got these like mini bookmarks saved, so I'm just be able to flip through that. It just saves a lot of time for me. But at the same time, I just find it, annoying that I can't really handle too much screen time, for long periods of time, I guess. I can't just be on the laptop all day and, not have my eyes utterly obliterated. I mean, I still have pretty good eyes. I don't need glasses yet. Um, but yeah, I just guess that's the thought that's been on my mind all day, and I've taken the workload one by one when it comes to university. I mean, you can only really focus on one thing at a time. I remember, someone said to me, I think this was a counselor at my school or whatever, they're just giving out like general study tips. They said the human brain I don't know how true this factoid is, but it's a point of consideration. The human brain can only focus on one task at a time in 45-minute intervals, apparently. I've even read, like, elsewhere that apparently the human attention span can only be like a couple of seconds. That's like the time it takes for something to captivate your attention. Just a couple of seconds, and then that's it. The studies vary because I guess it's a very complicated thing. It's a very sophisticated study. It's something that we don't fully comprehend yet. The human attention. But I like to believe that, you know, I like to think that at least my this is how my brain works, is that I can't focus on one more than one task at a time. I need to be focused on one task and one task only. I cannot multitask for the life of me. Because when you start multitasking, you're not, like, I guess, delivering the best quality of your work. Same thing with like a dual monitor setup, or if you're listening to music while writing notes. So for some people that may help, but for me, um, that just overcomplicates things. It just jumbles up my brain, and I can't really comprehend or focus on anything. Um, and it's just like having two screens in front of me. Two monitors, a phone and a laptop, or a phone and a monitor. Just really complicates things in my mind. I can't just really handle that sort of thing. But I also like to think that my brain can't handle tasks that are longer than 45 minutes, because I'm pretty sure after the 45-minute mark or an hour mark, your brain just says, hey, I just want to move on to the next task. So you just got to jump on to the next. And I guess it's better to do work in small chunks than it is to do in a lump sum. At least for me, that is. Um, I guess this has really come a discussion of work, hasn't it? This entry, but I guess more on screen time. I do miss being a kid and being able to just write all my notes in a book. But now I can do that. It's not like no one's stopping me from doing that. But at the same time, I kind of like, just for convenience sake, I need to, sorry, type up my notes. Um, I remember in high school writing down all my notes, and my hand used to cramp all the time. I'll never forget that. When you're writing down modern history notes, and yeah, just about to give up. I guess it provides you good practice for like essays, um, essay writing. But yeah, I guess it just depends, I guess, what works for you. But the main point is I can't handle too much technology. I can't handle too much screen time. I guess these last couple of years I've been trying to distance myself away from technology. It's been a little bit better for my mental health, physical well being, just not sitting aside all day on my phone. Um, and I guess, in a way, this series, is, I guess technology, at least partially uses technology. I'm looking at a camera. I'm not currently looking at a screen. I'm looking through a lens. But I'll have to upload this video onto YouTube, and that's me, looking at a monitor again today. But no, I guess it's a bit more authentic. I just imagine this camera as like someone else that I'm talking to, and they're just like taking it all in, saying, "Oh, when will this guy just shut up?" I'm assuming if a camera was a real human being, it would be like, "Oh my god, this guy's just going over and over again in his garage. When will he stop?" And the question is, when will I stop? And that will be in, I don't know the very specifics of it. It will be February 9th, 2046. I was just trying to calculate like 19 years, 11 months, but I was like, you know what? I'm too tired. It's freaking nighttime outside. I can't really give a crap on doing basic mathematical calculations. But yeah, I guess to cap off this entry, I guess read books if you're interested in that sort of stuff, even if you're not. Pursue stuff that isn't always, I guess, technology related. You know, um, like reading books, playing sports. Something to get your eyes off the screen. Because I feel like if you just keep your eyes on a screen all day, You just do work all day, you know, your eyes just eventually become strained and you won't be able to think straight and you just feel tired. It's nice to bring things up, you know? Even now with me, I'm pretty preoccupied with work. I've got a lot of work to do. But then I think to myself, if I work hard, like I said, every single day, then I will have nothing to feel guilty about at the end of the day. And that's kind of my work ethic, you know? um, and I guess, my one of my goals is just to spend less time on the screen and more time, I guess, doing the things that I like. Instead of doom scrolling YouTube, perhaps reading a book or even writing a few things, writing a few stories, or even listening to music. I wouldn't consider that screen time, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I guess I'll see you tomorrow and take care. Bye.